Welcome back to another lesson. We're going to do some data and statistics again, but I thought I'd start with a joke today because I know you guys appreciate my jokes. How do statisticians cook their meat? How do they cook their meat? They cook them to medium rare. Was that joke a bit mean? Oh, all right, better get back into math mode. Oh, mode. All right. Um, Man, my range of humor is just mm, too good. Okay, so we're going to do a slightly new topic today. It's still going to be on the same topic, but we're going to look at a different way that you can present all this data. It's called a stem and leaf plot, which is a different way to present your numerical data, right? Before we've had scores as a list, we've had them in a frequency distribution table. Now we're going to have them in this stem and leaf plot. Um, Now, how it looks is it breaks your data into a stem and a leaf. Okay, now the stem is normally the first digit. It's usually like the tens kind of column, and then the leaf breaks it into last digit, which is normally the ones or the units column. Right now, I've got a just this example here. This is what a stem and leaf plot looks like. You can see your stem and you've got your numbers on the left hand side, and then you've got a leaf and you've got your numbers on the right hand side. So what this means, haha, okay, enough with the mean jokes. What this means man, I can't stop saying it. What this really is, I'm not gonna say mean, is it is the scores. Oh, if I can write, it means it's 35 because we've got the stem with a 3 and then there's the leaf of a 5. So 3 would represent my tens column, 5 would represent my units. Put it together, I get 35. Okay, now I'll do the next one. Now I've also got 37. All right, then I've got another 37 because 3 and a 7, and then I've got the 3 and the 9. So that's where I get my 3 and then my 9. So I've got 35, 37, 37, 39. Now, once I finish that column, that row, sorry, I'm going to go down to the next one. I've got 4 in the stem, 2 in the leaf. So you guessed it, I got 4 and then a 2, so it becomes 42. I've got a 4 and an 8, that becomes 48, and that's it. And then here I've got 5 as my stem and 1 is my leaf, so you guessed it, it'll be 51, and then it will also be 57. Now that there, what I've put here, I've got 35, 37, 37, 39, 42, 48, 51, 57. All that is those are the scores that we work with. And so now if I asked you to find, okay, what is now the mean, the median, the mode, and the range, you can find this as you usually would. Okay, if you have forgotten, please go back a couple of videos or look back through your book so you can see how to get there. I'm not going to go through it for this example, but this is just hopefully enough information for you to see how this stem and leaf diagram works. And then from there, we can write down our scores, and from our scores, we can find our mean, median, mode, range. Okay. Now, there is one more kind of thing that I do want to look at, and they're called frequency histograms. Okay, now this is yet another way to display all this data. And basically, it's a graph version of the frequency distribution tables that you did last lesson. Okay, so whatever was in the table, this is just the graphed out version. Now I'll show you. It'll look a little bit like this. Okay, so there's a frequency kind of on the left hand side on the column going all the way up from 0 to 9 for this example, and then at the bottom we've got the scores, which is kind of like age, in this case 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 or 14. Okay, so how we deal with this is we want to be able to put it back into the table because we know how to find mean, median, range, mode from the table, but we're not quite sure how to figure it out from this graph yet. So let's learn how to put this stuff back into our table. I'm going to let's use red this time. So for my scores column, which is kind of like sometimes we call scores X, right? The scores that I'm looking for is actually going to be the ones on the horizontal, on the bottom, right? The age ones. So I've got 10, I've got 11, 12, 13, and 14. Those are the scores that I've got. Now, to read the frequency, all I have to do is to look at how far that graph goes upwards. Okay, so if I look at this one here, I scored 10. How many does it climb up? It says the frequency is 4, so I'm just going to line it up, and it's going to be 4. So that means I've got 4. It's frequency of 4. Right now, if I go down, how many does 11 have? 11 would have 7. How many would 12 have? 12, if you go all the way up, I'm pretty sure it goes up until 8. Yep. 13 would go all the way up until 5. And then 14 will go all the way up until 2. So it's pretty small there. Right, and so this would be how we complete the table, complete our frequency distribution table. Now, hopefully that makes sense. Now from here, of course, if I asked you to find, let's go back to blue. If I asked you to find the mean, the median, the range, and the mode, then we know how to do that from last lesson. We figured that out. We'll often need to find an FX column. So that means score times frequency. And then we're also going to have to find a CF column, which is your cumulative frequency. Again, if you have forgotten about these, please go back and read over them. And so you can hopefully, from now on, you can find everything that you need, whether they present it to you in a frequency distribution graph, frequency histogram, sorry, or they'll show it to you as a stem and leaf, or maybe it'll be a table like we got down here, or maybe it'll just be a list of scores like we've got here. Hopefully now, whatever data they give you, you can now find the mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next lesson. Bye.